First of all, it's my great privilege to welcome our Dean and our foremost mentor, Bhargav Saab, today. So, Bhargav Saab, welcome and thanks for giving me this honor of hosting you today. And together with you, I am also delighted to meet Narendra Sharma ji. And I was going through what Sharma ji has shared with me, and I think it is very, very fruitful and useful information, sir. So thank you so much for taking your time out. And as Garima has set the motion for today's talk, I would like to also refer to this topic called Jugalbandi at the rate creative work. The topic has been suggested by Narendra ji. So the first question, Narendra ji, goes to you. That what do you mean by Jugalbandi at creative work? So I think you have to correct this term for us before we move forward.
Sorry, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please
because
go on.
in between there was a disconnection because the power went off.
No problem, sir. Over to you, sir. What is Jugalbandi at creative work?
You see, the Jugalbandi, as we all understand that it has come from world of music.
Yes.
And it is, for me, I got this thought through Bhargav Mistry Saab. At one point of time, we were discussing, and I saw he playing with few other artists, and the audience was really enjoying it. And at the same time, I was thinking about my work, where I'm associated with few companies. And I asked Bhargav Saab that when did you meet this another artist? He said that few hours back.
Okay.
But in our corporate as well as your design, your creative design, people are associated for long, but they find it very difficult to work together. It's a challenge for them. People come with a different personalities, but in musical world, even they have met few hours back, they are able to enlighten the audience by their collective performance, by complementing each other. So that's how I thought that if we can have a similar Jugalbandi, similar collective performance, similar the collaboration in our work life also, as well as in our personal life. So I leverage this, the term which is normally used in musical world, that can we have this Jugalbandi at work, and we added this Jugalbandi in creative work. Right? Okay. Because if the work becomes creative, then the degree of collaboration has to be still higher than.
Very rightly said, sir. Very rightly said. I think you have not only coined a very creative term for the creative economy that we are in, but I think it is very apt at the same time. So, Bhargav sir, before we move further and discuss about our work culture, I would like you to throw some light over your Jugalbandi as you've done with with musical artists. And what is one thing that you would like to kind of point out from that Jugalbandi, which would be, I think, a takeaway for all the people on this chat show today?
All right, you put me in a corner. I'm sitting in a corner anyway, and I feel comfortable. Doesn't matter. But yeah. I mean, see, Narendra ji and me have been knowing each other for a fairly long time, and we kind of, even between us, we have a Jugalbandi. Like, see, interestingly, that yes, it is a musical terminology, especially in Hindustani classical music, because music, I mean, if you even look at it, is a sort of to me, it is a kind of a design only. See?
Yes,
the design
very
and
much.
music are similar. Both are creation. It's only that when it comes to creating things only with sound, using sound as the medium of expressing something creative, you call it music, right?
Yes.
A music has a composition, a certain character. Similarly, design would also have a form. It would have a function. Music also has that same function, similar function that you can relate to. Now, what therefore is Jugalbandi? Jugalbandi would mean, you see, it's more than teamwork. If you try to say that, what about teamwork? But I think it goes beyond teamwork. Teamwork would what mean basically putting energies together for a common goal and giving that additional momentum. Teamwork would mean people of different experiences. Teamwork would mean wider vision. But Jugalbandi, I mean, this is my personal thing. Narendra sir can elaborate.
You are an acclaimed artist, sir. Yeah, whatever comes from your mouth will be a doctrine for people.
So Jugalbandi में क्या होता है कि it's more of a communication, silent communication, which is unspoken, but which is just understood by the medium. See, suppose in music you play a certain note, the other person who is with you will, through that communication medium, add to it in such a way that the whole becomes something meaningful. Now, similarly in design, what happens? You create a form. Now, as a person, you've done it, but it is not just you who have created the form. There is somebody who will have to make it for you. So, suppose you give a kind of a drawing, which is a medium of expression of design. Now, the drawing through Jugalbandi, the communication happens with the others that what this is supposed to do, and they will add to it. You see, they can add to it.
Perfect.
Make it even better.
Perfect.
So, if this kind of
very relevant, sir, I would say, yeah.
So, if this kind of a scenario is brought down at a bigger level, then a Jugalbandi can become a symphony also. You see, Jugalbandi is just between two people, but beyond. You call it a symphony. So symphony is connecting with so many people at the same time to do something meaningful, whether it is in music, whether it is in cooking, or whether it is in design.
Perfect.
Or even storytelling, whatever. So this, according to me, and I think Narendra sir will have a lot of things to show on this.
Okay.
So maybe we'll ask him.
Excellent.
Maybe so he'd like to show this.
Yeah. So Narendra ji, I think you brought some slides for us to go through, isn't it?
Yeah, not necessary. We can even continue like this.
No, you can present, sir. No problem.
Okay. Okay. Someone can help me to bring the slides so that quickly I can take you through that.
Garima, can you help, sir? Garima?
You see, while she is bringing the slides, I will take on what Bhargav Sahab was saying on the communication.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would like you to recall the Amitabh Bachchan, that Kaun Banega Crorepati show.
Okay.
Correct? There, between Amitabh Bachchan and somebody sitting on the hot seat and the audience and the people who are listening, the kind of Jugalbandi they have in all these parties, right? I really enjoy the show. There are many similar kind of shows have come before.
Okay.
But the kind of the attraction what Amitabh Bachchan's Kaun Banega Crorepati has created.
Yes.
Now I will give you some insight which is related with our creative Jugalbandi. Is that in his communication, he has emotions. Correct. That emotion has made the entire collaboration between the different stakeholders there, from an audience to the person sitting on a hot seat to Amitabh Bachchan himself and families, and call a friend. Huh?
Yes.
So the emotion is the core component of that, which has made all these stakeholders come together on one platform and have Jugalbandi. So that's what now the Bhargav Sahib was saying, communication. But the communication, if it is with emotions, correct?
Correct.
That's what Amitabh Bachchan is doing.
Yes.
That he's putting emotions in their communication. The same way, in our creative design, something which you are expressing to the other party, and if that expression has if without communication, it will have a one output, and with emotions, it will have another output. Yeah. No, for example, if you say, "Kya lajawab khana banaya hai," it brings emotions.
Yes.
Right? So again, coming back to the slide, go to the next.
Next slide.
So this is what I wanted to show, that Bhargav Sahib and his two sons having Jugalbandi there. So I thought I share this, that this concept got inspired by Bhargav Sahib. Next.
Excellent.
And if you see here, another one term which I want to introduce here, endued. Correct? You see, in this Diwana Hua Badal, correct? About more than 60 years old. But still, even today, it is. It looks that very relevant. So many people. I will not read all those things, but so many people together they have worked, correct, and passionately. Today, you will see that today's song, maybe in 2 years, 3 years, they are not there. But this is for 3 years. It is enduring. One of the many old songs endured for generations. So if you want something, some design, the creativity which will endure for generations. For example, say I will take more examples later, but this is the one term which I want to introduce, the design which endured for generations. Correct?
Very, very good. And the song is also very apt.
Yeah, that's why I took this. Divana Hua Badal.
Yes.
So Badal Divana Hua, to kya connect, how lyricists have connected so many things. And there is a lot of insight in this. If you go to the next. Next slide.
Yeah.
This shows that you can see the flamingo birds coming here after traveling so many miles, and they have the leader in the front. This keeps changing, so that they leverage the strength of all. Next one, not this one. Next slide.
No, not this one. The bird slide.
Bird slide is over. Bird slides. The change is constant, because in this formation the birds keep changing the positions. Right. So if we say that in our creativity that there is a change, that's what requires creativity. And even in this Jugalbandi of so many birds, they are able to sustain because they have accepted change. So if we accept change, that will bring creativity in whatever we do. If you go to the next. I am leveraging another thing by and connecting with our creative design is the Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 19 parties. For 5 years, he ran the government. The Jugalbandi between these 19 parties. Correct? And what the message, what our aspiring designers can take, is that when they have a conversation on their creative work, मतभेद हो सकते हैं मगर मनभेद न रखें. This was the one core message of a Jugalbandi among 19 parties, and the government lasted for 5 years. Correct? So when we have this discussion, we may have differences, correct? लेकिन मन में भेद नहीं है. Correct? This is what the message what we receive from this great leader. If you go to the next. You see here another term which I want to introduce about this creative design. This I am leveraging this from the Chakravyuha in Mahabharata. So as we know that no उसको भेद पाना बहुत मुश्किल था. अगर तो with this the term invincibility. Correct? So design something which is invincible. Correct? Like for example, if you go to the next page.
Next.
You will find that Apple, correct? From so many years, Nokia is out. They were number one. But the Apple or Amul or Cisco or Sony or all these brand names, they have an invincibility in their design. Correct? So if the creativity is there, where in the back of mind that what they are doing, correct? Creating invincibility that competitors cannot भेद नहीं सकते उसको जो चक्रव्यूह की तरह से.
Perfect. Yes.
That's what Dronacharya with the same resources were same, but the arrangement was such that it became Chakravyuh. So with I want to give message to the aspiring designers that you may have a same resources, but your design thinking like Dronacharya, that the product what you make, it will be very difficult to crack by the competitors. So this is what is the reason why I referred this Chakravyuh, that invincibility in the design.
Apt message, I would say. Apt message.
Like Amul. Amul throughout the country. There is no next brand. Number one is Amul. Number two is Amul. Next is 11th.
Synonymous with India's taste, the taste of India.
India's taste. Correct. So you go to the next one. Now here in the creativity, if somebody would have asked the Apple development team, what are you making? Are you working? Somebody may be working on the PCB, somebody may be working on the aesthetics. But I feel that to any product development, what your designers will be involved, their perspective, मैंने हिंदी का word use किया, दृष्टिकोण क्या है उनका. So if they say that, you see, we may be making XYZ product, but in their mind that they are creating opportunities, creating preference and premium. We give preference to Apple product, we give premium to Apple product, and Apple product has created opportunities. Correct? So by I would say designers, correct? They may be making XYZ product. Basically, they are creating opportunities through their creative design. Through their design, they are creating preference over others, and that not that we will be 10% more, say 10% less. No, we want premiums. They're creating premium. They may be working on PCB, they may be working on mechanical, they may be working on any XYZ thing, but basically they are creating premium. They are creating preference. They are creating opportunities. Correct.
Perfect.
So this is the drashtikon I thought I share with you to have a. If they have this, then they will not have differences with the different people who are working. Correct. Yeah, go to the next. No, like this, all these were the leaders, but they failed to adapt. Xerox not there, Nokia not there, Kodak not there, Ambassador not there, Compaq not there, but all these were number one leaders. So when you have creativity, in that creativity, the adaptability is very important. That how do we adopt the new technologies? How do we adopt the new processes? Right? While we are being creative. And I will give you an example that how one big company, the creativity in their design made the difference. If you go to the next, you will see that. You see, at one point of time, IBM in 92, it was about to be sold. Nobody was buying. So they IBM broke into 8 parts. Like my old car, I could not sell, so I had to give it to the kabadi wala. They broke it, glass, tire. Same way the IBM condition was there. Right? But they at that time they hired this Louis Gessner. If some of them you may have read this book, who says elephant cannot dance. So he brought creativity. What is that creativity in the design? That IBM was a product centric. He by creativity he said it won't be going forward. We will be service centric. We will be people centric. And I tell you, IBM, the selling plan was dropped, and IBM not only survived, but IBM also prospered. So that's what moving from a product centric to a people centric. So that's the creativity in the design of that organization. Totally shifted, and it survived. Right? And that adaptability made the difference. Next. This we already discussed, that Amitabh Bachchan, right? Bringing emotion in communication. As Bhargav Sahab was saying, that communication is very important. But in communication, if you bring emotions in the communications, that's what is the difference. Correct? You will see our Prime Minister, when he is talking, delivering speeches, he has a communication is the very important part of his communication. Emotions are the important part of communication. So when you have a creative design, you want to have Jugalbandi at creative work, you need to bring emotions. If you bring without emotions, Jugalbandi is difficult and creativity will be difficult. Okay?
Perfect. Yeah.
So next we talked about this. Next one. You see, another creative things what India has seen, Arun Jaitley implemented and created a GST, one nation, one tax. So many states, so many bureaucrats, so many finance ministers, so many governments, and he brought Jugalbandi among all them, to bring this world's largest product, largest complicated product. And you know, one thing which I want aspiring designers to take away from here is that the Economic Times gave Arun Jaitley a title that he was a consensus builder. If you really want to have a very successful designers, you need to have be a consensus builder, because as a product you will be using so many features in that, so many technologies, so many components, so many timelines, so much complexity. Many things are there. So if your designers are the consensus builder like Arun Jaitley, like he implemented world largest GST application, our engineers will be definite. Our designers will be able to bring with this ability of a building. It is a different topic, but this is I am introducing as a term, a consensus builder. Yeah, these features are fine. Correct. This is as of now today we require this technology in this product. Correct. So that's what the consensus builder. Next. You see, another very interesting thing which I had this learning through my cook. You see, the turmeric, it is a great quality. Turmeric itself is a leader. Correct? And cinnamon, itself is a leader. But anyone guest coming to your place, do you offer turmeric in a plate? If Raja Jani, if I come to Raja Jani's parties, Professor Saab, will you offer turmeric?
No.
Right? But turmeric, it is a leader in itself.
Yes.
And each masala is a leader in itself. But we don't offer them individually. So in your design concept, there will be mechanical, something electronic, some simulation, some processes, and maybe music in that, or many things will be there. But you don't in the customer commitment are delivered through a collective performance. So unless there is a Jugalbandi, what we do, in oil we put all these masalas, or जब masala पक जाता है, that indication comes जब वो तेल छोड़ देता है, मैं अपनी कुक से पूछा था कि कब मालूम पड़ेगा कि मसाला पक गया, वो बोली तेल छोड़ेगा ना ये, तेल छोड़ेगा तो वो जो है हमारे को, then you can put vegetables. And similarly here in the people who are working on the design, various experts are there. Unless they have, उन्होंने संघर्ष किया हो put together तेल के अंदर गरम में, so that going through the design course, it's a hardship, like so many people, you know, having grilled in the masala in the hot oil. और जब वो 2 साल पूरे हो जाते हैं, and experts like Bhargav साहब and you, all these, when each aspirants will find कि हाँ अब हमारा तेल छूट गया है, correct? तेल छूट गया मतलब कि हमारी ईर्ष्या, द्वेष, correct, और negativity, everything has come out, right? Ego, then you can put कि now सब्जी डालनी है, या आपके जो है the product ideas have to put, so the message here is that individually you could be, each component of a design could be a leader, correct, but it has no worth. You don't offer in these individual things to your guest, but when it brings together, and not only coming together, going through that hardship of under the hot oil, and after some time it releases various negative things, and when you go, we don't take oil, we leave the oil when we go to the party. Right. So this is the message I wanted to give in design, is that it's like it's a masala which will the curry. Correct. Next. Perfect. You see, very interesting thing here. Sant Kabir. हम कभी रेफर नहीं करते कि he can be a creativity means you see the creativity in his design of the thoughts. If you go to the next one.
Next.
क्या बोला? गुरु गोविंद दो खड़े काके लागू पाए, बलिहारी गुरु आपने गोविंद दियो मिलाए. अब you see he was not that any qualified person, but you see the simplicity in his message. Correct? When we have a creative design, if we have a simplicity, and if we are able to communicate in a simple form where masses can understand, correct? And for that, you don't have to be a degree from your college will be only a ticket that you enter, but something has to come from inside. Like Kabir, he was not any MBA or he was not any, but I would say he was a great communicator.
Yes.
आंखें भी नहीं थी, पढ़ा लिखे भी नहीं थे, but you see the creativity in his. If you see the next, there are many duhas are there. If people buy 100 rupees book of this Kabir, they will understand that what is the way of expression. Correct? Creative design is nothing but it's a way of expression.
Perfect.
So this is what I wanted to share. Next, maybe 1 or 2 slides could be there now. Next. You see, another very interesting thing which I find, that creative Jugalbandi creative work is the taking feedback. You see, we don't have hair. तो ये तो मिरर ने बता दिया कि you don't have hair. Correct? But राजा जानी साहब को बताया कि you are a handsome person. ये भी बता दिया मिरर के अंदर. Correct? है ना? So, but what about somebody giving feedback on the design concept which we are going to consider? Many times ना, अगर पास वाले की आपकी टी शर्ट में से काफी स्मेल आ रही है, तो कौन बोल सकता है कि तुम्हारे शर्ट में, many times Bhargav tells me, अरे नरेंद्र, your shirt is smelling bad. He can tell me because he is my good friend. We have a good relationship. So if you go to the next slide, in the mirror you could see only your physical appearance, correct? And mirror कभी झूठ नहीं बोलता, correct? वो भार्गव साहब को तो बॉल्ड दिखाएगा ना, आपको मेरे को तीनों को boldly दिखाएगा.
Yeah, true.
इस तरह से in the creative design you require feedback. And who can give feedback? I tell you, relationship can hold the mirror. Right? If you have relationship, that will hold the mirror, and you will be able to see, your designers will be able to see a true picture from their relationship, that you see this concept it won't work, or if you make this improvement, or if you add this. So it's very important that when they are having a creative work, they need to have a feedback. Okay? And who can give feedback? If you have relationship with someone, then only they can give feedback. Okay? So, so in the creative design at work, you need to have a relationship with people, okay, who will give feedback. Beyond mirror, mirror is giving only the next.
Yeah.
This is the last slide, which I am summarizing here, and we may touch upon 1 or 2 points. You see, creative design, lot of time it ends up into a tough conversation. Right? But if our designers have develops an capability to normalize tough conversation, okay, that will ease to come up with some product. Another thing I would say that expressing differences constructively. I'm not getting into the detail because we have time limitation. But if you constructively express the differences, so or sometimes the tough conversation when you want to give feedback, if you can give constructively, and I will share one experience, and where Bhargav Sahab was also involved in that. That will, if our designers can take that thought throughout their life, it will help. I have a maid servant at home, okay? And Bhargav Sahab had come, and the desk was not properly cleaned. Okay? So I wanted to give a firing to my maid servant, but instead of firing, I gave a feedback कि पार्वती मेरे को बहुत शर्म आया कल. तो पूछा कि किस बात पे शर्म आया भाई? कि शर्म इसलिए आया कि भार्गव साहब आए थे, उनको मैंने चाय ऑफर करी, उन्होंने जेब से रुमाल निकाला और टेबल को साफ किया. Correct? I would have fired that Parvati, but instead of firing, I gave a feedback like this. तो उसने अपना कान पकड़ लिया कि ये स्थिति कभी मैं आने नहीं दूंगी. Correct? So that's what is that. If you give feedback in a constructive way, correct? That's what can help in a better design, or better coming at consensus. So confronting the conflict is the last one, which then we can move on. Is that when conflict comes while design, and those conflicts we should not put under the carpet, because then later when the product is launched, then you will have a problem. But if you confront the conflicts, you will have some resolution, and you will be able to mitigate the risk of a failure when it really comes to the market, when it really goes to the consumer. So the aspiring designers, they can bring creativity by confronting the any potential conflicts they have.
Yes.
So this is what is a slide I thought time. Maybe
thank you so much. Yes, Narendra ji, I think this is not only a very apt conversation or the presentation, I would say, but I think, you have touched upon a very important aspect of the creativity, which is actually teamwork. So teamwork has to happen in a very seamless manner. And there are all the points that you have presented in front of us. They are actually making things smoother for all of us to perform. I think, and once we perform with our best of abilities, only then the symphony can be created. As Bhargav said it before. So I think, you have not only set the benchmark for today's, I would say, discussion, but it is a very, very important takeaway for all the aspiring designers from here. So Bhargav Sahab, how would you like to summarize the whole thing as Narendra ji put in front of us?
I think first we should stop sharing the screen.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Stop
Can you repeat
sharing the
again?
screen. Yes.
That's better.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No,
Over to you.
summarize. So I think Sharma ji has summarized it fairly well.
Yes.
And most of the points, all that, and they have been covered so well. He brought in the concept of the point of emotions, because emotions definitely play a role. See what happens if Jugalbandi was working everywhere in the world.
Yes.
Symphonies, there would be no wars. There would be no hatred. I mean, it's as simple. But still, no matter how hard you try, why does it happen? How does it happen? So it's egos. And this touches the concept of emotions.
Right.
So unless emotions are at that level, that harmonized level with everybody, which can only be done through very careful communications and all these points which Sharma ji mentioned.
Yeah.
The way he told the maid, rather than, so these are certain aspects. So even when you bring this to the design world, because see, the one difficulty or challenge, rather I'd say, for designers is that we deal with customers, directly with clients. And we are in such a subject, we deal with such a subject that it is very subjective for everybody. Something which I like, you may not like.
Yes.
But yet I want to sell across the idea to you that what I prefer, what I have made is something good for you. Now, how do you do that? There are only two possibilities. Either the customer will say, forget it, I don't like it. It happens with architects, it happens with several designers.
Yes.
Or the other is, do it the way Mr. Sharma suggested.
Yes.
Speak in such a way that अपने आप ही प्रेम हो जाएगा उसी से. अरे हाँ यार साहब आपने क्या बात बताई, मैं तो ये इस तरफ से तो मैंने कभी सोचा ही नहीं था.
Right.
Now it looks so beautiful. You see? So these little nuances.
Very good. Yeah. So Bhargav Sahab, I think what Sharma ji has also done for us is actually he has created some images in all his slides, and these images are going to stand. For example, if I can recall, is just the presentation which he has just finished. So I can recall very clearly what Amitabh Bachchan stands for, what Chakravyuh stands for, what Kabir ji stands for, what Amul stands for, So I think this is very good way of, I think, communication also. So I think
even
this...
that mirror,
yeah.
The mirror also.
Mirror also, yes, mirror also. So I think, it was a very succinct presentation, Sharma Sahab, and very apt, very relevant for today's context. So thank you so much for bringing us to this beautiful way of, kind of diverting this slow talks into some slow motion. So today you have actually introduced another term for us, which is called slow motion. So slow talk has to actually evolve to slow motion, and it should go and attain some speed, slow speed somewhere to make it more relevant for our people, for the today's designers, or for that matter, the budding entrepreneurs or MSMEs. That I can see actually, sir, from my own experience that I was actually going through some statistic the other day that 80% of the new startups fail. 80%. And in fact, financing happens to be just 40% of the reasons. 60% of the reasons are manpower. Because either the person does not cannot make a good team at work, or he does not find a good co-founder, or he does not find a good advisory panel who can set the motion or can do the course correction for him. So I think, you have actually, I think, in a very nice lucid form, you introduce the beauty of all these different elements that come together and make symphony. So
Right.
this way, this Jugalbandi has actually, I think, come very alive in front of us and very, very relevant. So thank you once again, Sharma Saab, for this wonderful presentation, I would say.
Thanks.
Before that, I think we should even ask Sharma ji that, again, if he wants to, some takeaway for the aspiring design students in a point or two, from all these still very succinct points. You might like to, I mean, if that occurs to you at the moment.
You see, I would like to share one of the thought is that all designers, whether they are in a part of a startup or they are studying there, they should have one belief that there is always a better way of doing things. Right? So if they have this thing set in their mind, it will help them to come up with creative ideas and not stuck with something what they already have. Right? Nokia, something they already had, so they stuck up with that. Ambassador is stuck up with that. Kodak is stuck up with that. Compaq is stuck up with that. Blockbuster stuck up with their ideas what they had. But if we think that there is always a better way of doing things, if that thought is there in each designer's mind, then the door for creative will be open. A door for something a higher value, creating higher value will be open. And one of the takeaway I would like to again reiterate is that one way is saying that I am making the X component of the product, or I am making Y component. If we say that, if we ask ना कि वो वाला एग्जांपल है ना, मंदिर बना रहे हैं, तो मंदिर में क्या बना रहे हैं? एक ने बोला कि मैं पत्थर उठा रहा हूँ, इससे मुझे 500 रुपए मिलेंगे. दूसरे ने बोला कि मैं दीवार बना रहा हूँ, एंड आई विल, मैं अपने घर का लोगों का पेट भरूंगा. तीसरे लेबर ने बोला, अरे मैं कृष्ण भगवान के लिए प्लेटफॉर्म बना रहा हूँ, यहाँ पे भगवान आके बैठेंगे इधर. इसके आगे जो मैंने मंदिर में बनाए हैं यहाँ पे, इसमें जो दर्शन सब लोग आके अपना शीश नवाएंगे यहाँ पे. You see, दृष्टिकोण. If you say that what I am doing in a creative design, what I am creating opportunities. See, my sales people, customer will open the door for them. That's what I am doing. That's what is an opportunity. Not only that, I am also creating preference. People will give preference to what we are making. And not only preference, they will give premium. We give premium to different products. We give premium to Amul. We give premium to Apple. We give corporates give premium to Cisco. So it is there. So if in the mind of a designer, I'm not creating something clothes or product or electronics. I am creating opportunities, preference and premium. So क्या होगा? All the players will have the same thing in the mind. So the conflict will be less. There will be more Jugalbandi will be there. It's a mindset.
Yeah. So Sharma Saab, on this note, I have also received one question for you. That can you please elaborate on Maharana Mewar Award for promoting sustainable social and human values?
See, one of my engagement was I was the head of Oracle's development center in Bangalore. So that was a PeopleSoft center where I moved some 1100 jobs from US to India.
Okay.
and I was head of that center. So, so I wrote one piece of kind of a book by the name "The Journey is the Reward," because
Okay.
my boss asked me that we want to, we want to give some reward to you. And next day, I thought he will be giving me a car or he will give me some 50 lakh rupees. But next day, I received a letter with a heading that the journey is the reward. The
Reward.
journey which you had in making of the organization, that was your reward. So that book somehow it reached in Udaipur's this Mewar family, that Mahara Mewar Foundation,
Plus, yes.
and then they gave me a call that we want to, we want to give you some this Mahara Mewar award.
Okay.
So मैंने बोला courier कर दो, but they said then you will have to come here. So for that engagement, because it involved moving those jobs to India, and motivating and inspiring a lot of youngsters, and it was for me also it was a life-changing opportunity. So in
Great.
that connection, I got this award,
Excellent. Now, one question is for you, Bhargav Sahab. Please share the most challenging project that you have worked on across industrial and domestic products. So,
there are quite a few, and one particularly that comes to my mind is the design of a mobile laboratory. And laboratory not as in physics, chemistry, and biology and all that, but electrical measuring systems.
okay.
So this was almost, I would call it a symphony. See? Because it involved so many intricate things that, and most of the equipment which was to be placed inside the mobile lab were very fragile, as well as very heavy and very crude in shape. Now, if you visit any electrical substation, आसपास में,
yes,
you find huge capacitor structures, those transformers.
Yes.
So we had to design something which would be able to carry them, put them in the lab, get them tested, put them back. So it also had an electric vehicle inside, which we designed.
Okay.
A kind of a forklift also. And 2 people could stay in there. So air conditioning, pantry, and this entire project took almost 9 to 10 months, right from conceptualization to purchasing the chassis for the truck and then building it according to our design. And I think that was a very challenging thing. And parallelly with this, I was also doing my most challenging musical work. That was my album called Shankara. So while this was going on, at the same time, it was, this one was also building up. And both of them were launched almost at the same time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So great example, that one. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Just to add on this, what Bhargav Sahab is saying, I am on the board of this company when he created, and those vehicles are still in use. They are still earning revenue for the
secure meters, you are saying.
This
secure
is
meters.
a YMPL is another organization.
Single Sahab is also an accomplished leader, corporate leader. I think he was also chairing the CIA once upon a time, and that time I had a chance to meet him.
Okay.
So very, very fine gentleman. So thank you so much, sir, for all the enlightenment this morning. And I think now the honors will be done by Garima. And thanks once again. And then Sharma Sahab, one small request to you that please get involved with us in our ADBI. And we are going to mentor some youngsters here. And I think with your kind of vast experience, it will be really helpful for our people to get benefit from your life and experiences both. Bhargav Sahab, you are always there as our Bhishma Pitama. as I call you. So you are there to nurture all of us as usual, and we always look upon you when it comes to putting that creativity ka tadka. So I think you are you are known for that, and that is an I think invincible reputation that you have built over the years.
And I want to give one more comment on Bhargav's association with the Design College.
Yes, sir.
We, as his friends, we every time we see him, and we feel that he is growing younger with your association.
That's a good point. Because that is also I think it has an origin in Jugalbandi, which we will talk about at a later date sometime. And I will share with you an anecdote where Bhargav of Jugalbandi stole the entire show. So that we will discuss on the sidelines. And thank you so much, sir. Once again, both of you, eminent gentlemen. Thanks for coming and gracing this occasion. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for inviting us. Okay.
Great. Thanks for the opportunity.
Bye.
Garima,
yes,
okay,
sir.
Garima, thanks.
Thank you so much, Bhargav sir and Narendra sir, for providing us the valuable inputs on varied relevant topics in relation to design thinking process. And we'd also like to thank Mr. Raj sir for moderating the talk show. And I would also like to extend my thanks to all of the guests for attending the same. And we'll keep all of you informed for the next talk show happening every Saturday at 12 noon.
Thank you. Thank you all, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, sir.